In this video we're going to show you just how simple and easy it is to create a pen test run with Cysys. The first thing that we need to do when creating our pen test is define what type of attack we want to run here. Now there are four main types of tests that Cysys can run. The first is the advanced penetration testing setting. That's a black box pen test and the type that we're going to watch very shortly. We can set up a what if scenario. So this is more of a grey box test. This might be what if this user gets compromised. What does that mean to our organisation? What happens if that person clicks on a phishing link? Where can an attacker get to? We can also give the Cysys machine an endpoint to go after. That might be a critical asset, the keyword of a critical asset on your network. Let's see if the machine can get to it, and if it can, understand what it did, how it did it, the methods it used to exploit the vulnerabilities it found, and how you can then put remediations in place to ensure that that critical asset remains protected. We can run single action tests. That might be something like, I want to test my resilience to brute forcing, or my resilience to the crypto API vulnerability. We can also run the Cysys machine as a bog standard vulnerability assessment, just looking for CVEs regardless of their exploitability. What we're going to do here is show you how to create an advanced penetration test. Now the first thing that we do, of course, is give our test a template, a name, and description. I'm just going to use a simple one here for the purpose of this video. We then plug in the IP range that we want the test to cover, and we define whether there are any IPs that we want to exclude from the run that we're doing today. There might be certain critical assets which for one reason or another you don't want to run a particular pen test against, and that's fine. You would include these here. You then define the intensity of the test. So this is the duration that you want the test to last for. You might choose to run it for a number of hours. You may choose to run it over a weekend if you've got backup tasks scheduled to find out whether any new vulnerabilities are thrown up during that time. And you then define the stealthiness level for the attack. Now you can make the machine as noisy or as stealthy as you like. You would hope that if you put it to noisy, because we're going to do more port scanning, more discovery and more enumeration, the tools on your network, anything designed for monitoring, anything like a SOC service, any of those platforms, hopefully they're going to pick up that there's activity taking place in your organisation and on your network and flag it to you. This is about stress testing those tools and ensuring that they're configured properly and doing the job that they're implemented to do. Of course, you can make the machine behave more stealthily, like a mature attacker would try to on your organisation. At some point, it may be that your tools stop giving you the alerts that they were when the machine was set to noisy mode. You can see at which point that happens and maybe fine tune things to ensure that they're picking up what they should. After this, you then determine whether you want the machine to ask for your approval before carrying out certain exploits. There may be some exploits which you were concerned about with running on your live production environment. For example, you might have a NAC that was going to quarantine a device if it felt it was being brute forced. So you may want to say, don't do any of that without asking for my permission first. If you tick any of these boxes along the left hand side here, if the Cysys machine finds the ability to carry out that certain type of exploit, it will flag to you first saying, this is what I want to do. This is the host that I would like to do it to. Are you happy with me doing this? Yes or no? So we give you that extra layer of safety and control over everything that's happening during the pen test run. Everything that the machine does carry out is of course designed to be completely safe and cause no harm or detriment. The last thing that you need to do is schedule how frequently you want this particular pen test to be carried out. You might want to conduct this run weekly at a certain time and have the report sent to you at the end of the test if it's lasting for a number of hours. That's completely your prerogative and you can do it as frequently as you see fit. The last thing to do is to set up notifications. So if you want the machine to ask for your approval before anything, you can set for it to shoot you an email if it's about to carry out an exploit and wants to check it with you. You can also set up for the report to be emailed to you at the end of the pen test run. That's pretty much everything there is to it. The next thing that we have to do is to click create and run, and the pen test will begin. It's as simple as that. Within a couple of minutes we can configure a pen test and configure cadence for that to happen regularly so that we're going to have a round the clock, a consistent viewpoint of where the issues are in our environment.